friendship and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I've spent more time alone this year than I ever have in my life, and I hate it.
So loneliness, being alone, yeah, not precisely what this is going to be about. I am a bit in a rut. Yeah, especially last week. Last week was a rough one. I broke my wrist, like I said, and I had to wear a cast. And that in itself was my much feared nightmare. I used to talk about it with my mum and dad, saying, if I break my hand, especially the right one, and I have to wear a cast, I don't think I will be able to cope with it. I will probably be in and out of a panic attack. I will lay on the floor crying, and yeah, I won't be able to cope with it. But it happened, you know, my worst fear came into realization, and last week I assumed I was going to be living with a cast around my arm for weeks. And although it is in some regards exactly what I expected, and although it's completely not, like I said, I thought I wouldn't be able to cope with it, and I've coped with it reasonably. Not that it wasn't a struggle. I struggled with it very much, but I could also enjoy things. I had some genuine laughs last week, and I never thought that I would be able to do that when I was in my nightmare. And that's another thing that made me wonder. It made me think about this weird ass year and how much I've changed, how much I have changed, how much I've learned about myself. Like the end of last year and beginning of this year, I was so low. So low. I think I never been at the bottom of a pit, but I was there. I was there in the beginning of this year, which made me have a very rough conversation with myself. Because I wasn't okay with it anymore. Like, I tried so many times. I literally moved across the country and still nothing really was changed. My life was still standing still stuck. So I was ready to give up on that, but then I had this just real hard conversation with myself. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try one more time, and if that doesn't work, you can quit. It is what it sounds like. And obviously things didn't really went to plan because there is a pandemic going on, and a lot of stuff kind of rolled impossible very quickly on, and I had to be a bit more creative, which is why I'm here, why I'm on YouTube nowadays. It was kind of out of necessity, because I needed something to make my life move. And I thought, well, getting out of your comfort zone is always progress. So let's do this. This is the thing that is very much out of my comfort zone. And I enjoyed it a lot, and it brought me a lot. It is the main reason that I now can talk with people. Which is a weird thing to say, but talking to a camera helped me talking to people in real life. So suddenly I was in this position of having a lot of things happen, and the weird thing is my life has never been this social, which is weird because I think in most cases this year social life has decreased, and in my case I have one now. That's big. But you know, it also means that I had to push myself a lot, and by that I discovered that I can do a lot more things than I originally thought, and that I'm not the person that I thought I was, or perhaps I just changed because I'm suddenly in this very fast train of learning things, and I made a few discoveries there were positive and also a few discoveries that weren't necessarily negative, but there were things I thought about myself and I believed very hard in it that were suddenly untrue. And that is the reason that I'm now a bit in an identity crisis. And also my head is a chaos. I can't seem to really make structural sentences like now. Like, I wrote a script and still it's not going as smooth as I would like to. And that's okay. So that's part of the reason that I make this video. But also December. December is around the corner and I don't feel Christmassy at all, and I understand why. The time is weird and everything.
But it's also a bit odd, since December has always been my most favourite time of the year. It's not about Jesus being born, because although I have been baptized, I've never been religious, never been a believer. So that's not it, and neither is it the presents, because I'm Dutch and we celebrated Sinterklaas. And although I do not agree with it now, because it's kind of bonkers to me that we are trying to convince ourselves that in this particular case blackface is fine because it's religion, and that's insane since it's literally hurting people, and I don't think it would really have an impact on the celebration if we just stop doing it. So that doesn't make sense. We do a sort of Secret Santa, but never in December. We did it once on New Year's Eve, but most of the time it's either spring break or autumn break, so that's not it. It's also not about Christmas Day, because I feel that's always a bit of a disappointment. I've never been much about big crowds, and usually we go to my dad's side, and that part of the family is like huge, and they're also very loud and extroverted, and I always feel overwhelmed and out of place. So it's not that. So what is it about it? Well, magic. Yeah, I adore magic. I've always wished to be in a magical world or be magical myself, and I think December is the closest I will ever get to magic. Because, I don't know, because our homes or environment kind of gets a makeover by throwing little twinkly lights on everything. So yeah, magic. And because I've kind of lost that this year and also a bit last year, I thought, why not make a little series about it and try to challenge myself to find some magic back. Whatever shape that might take. Who knows? I just want some magic, and I also want to experiment some bit with myself. I want to challenge myself to try and get out more. I will try and explore my surroundings, because it's been pointed out to me that I don't know the place I'm living in. But anyway, it's going to be a weekly vlog style series, and if you're up for it, then look forward to that. I've no idea how it's going to look or how it's going to end up like, but we'll find out. I will find out. So see you next week, and perhaps sooner with a sewing video, and perhaps subscribe. Bye!